Pentagonish. Well, maybe we should just call it the Pentagonish. These buildings are going to look weird, though. A polygon is determined by the number of sides not having to be equal lengths. That is actually true. You have better hopes for Star Citizen. Whose stream was I in the other day? And I was being asked about Star Citizen. And I think one guy said to me, he said, do you think it's going to be like everything that has been promised? And I said, well, nobody really knows the answer to that. It's a project that nobody knows if it will actually be a successful one. All you can do is either sit and watch or put your money on the table, play what's there, and hope that it turns out okay. Which is the essence of early access anyway. But nobody really knows. Like, if it's successful, it'll be probably the biggest gaming project undertaken. And it's going to be hard to beat that for a long time. Because it's such a huge amount of money, such a huge amount of development, like a decade project. Nobody's really ever done a decade gaming project before. Like hundreds of millions. I mean, that's an insane production. So if they pull it out of the bag, it will be one of, you know, if not the biggest game. But equally, it could fall flat on its face and be like the biggest disaster. I think, you know, I'm happy with where I'm at in terms of the amount of money that I'm risking. I don't think I'd want to risk more than like $100, $200 at the absolute most. I know Baz has put an awful lot in there. I wouldn't risk that. Maybe later down the line I'd put more money in as I can see a completed game coming together, but right now I think it's too risky for me. Who thinks tabs is accurate? No idea, bro. Never tried it. I think I'd like to bring this road. Most recent SimCity contender was the most disappointing game of all time. What actually was the problem with SimCity? Was it... Did they do, like... Is it a case that they did a similar thing to what EA did with The Sims? As in... Just made it... Like, everything just DLC? Or... Like, what was the problem? You had to play online. Wait a minute, so you... Is it one of the games where it had to be online, but you actually physically had to play against other people? You couldn't play it on your own? Online only in tiny maps? What were they thinking? You were limited to a tiny plot, online only. What the heck were they thinking? There's no single player in a game like that. They totally missed the target. I don't understand what they were trying to do there. Who told them that that's what people wanted? They turned off offline only now. They basically gave the city build a player base to Skylines. Do you think they'll make another one? It's EA's fault as usual, not Max's. I don't know. Oh my god. Some nasty elevation here. It is getting worse and worse. In what way are they getting worse and worse? You think Skylines has a few things missing? I feel it's too sandboxy and not gritty enough. I'm not sure what you mean by gritty. That's a bit... Corporate bigwigs. The problem with EA is they tend to put a lot of emphasis on profit now. A lot of the executives are all about like profit margins and generating money via DLC and all the rest of it, and they tend to interfere. EA do this so much. They tend to interfere with the game development. They tend to, you know, they did the same with DICE. Like, they want things in the game that they think, you know, the executives think are a great idea. They're like the ones who don't know anything about game development, who just think they do. You know, that's where it goes wrong, I think. Or they have these like targets, you know, we wanna beat Call of Duty, you know, so we're gonna basically try and copy it, what it does, instead of just appealing to a different kind of player and this kind of thing. Let's put all the kill streaks in the game and that kind of stuff. By gritty, I mean I want to see slums, urban decay, problems with the traffic. Right, so you want the, you don't want it to be as pretty, effectively. Like graffiti on walls and stuff. If you don't put enough police around, you start seeing graffiti and rubbish lying around if you haven't got enough bin disposal and that kind of thing. EA sucks at marketing, but that EA pushes releases and deadlines while the developers severely underestimate their timelines. We don't know. I mean, EA might be going in there and just changing, like moving the goalposts all the time and just saying, no, 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 don't do that. We need to do this now. Like, that could be a factor. You want more consequences for bad city management, maybe political elements. Well, there are other games that focus on the political side, aren't there? I've never really been a fan of that stuff. Mostly because politics just annoys me. So I can't be bothered with all that. As a game, like, as a sandbox game, it's great, this. But if you're looking for that kind of, you know, political aspect as well, there are other games that do that. Tropico series. Isn't there a new Tropico coming out? Like Tropico 6 or something? Is it 6? I can't remember. What I like about Tropico, and bearing in mind I've not really played it like a great deal, I like the kind of theme of it. Like the, Squirrello, you know? Presidente. I like all that stuff. It's fun. Like the voice acting's amusing. Most of it.
Happy anniversary, Nutter.
You like the humor in Tropico, yeah. Since you like building sims, the reason you don't play Planet Coaster. I don't know, dude. Like, Roller Coaster Tycoon, I enjoyed so much. Planet Coaster, I don't understand why I don't have the desire to play it. I just don't know. I can't explain to you why. How's the traffic? I'm ignoring it, Bob. Focusing on the problem in hand, which is finishing off this mammoth job. However, we've got that whole area zoned out now. Maybe dropping the train line before I completely forget like I did last time. Let's go from there to second line and back. And then we'll bring some power in. One thing EA is good at in games is music. But EA don't really develop, do they? They tend to publish now. Planet Coaster feels too micromanagey. That's a lot of... Like, I found the same thing with Surviving Mars. I think that a game... It's very important for a game that as whatever it is that you're building, the city in this case, or in Surviving Mars, the colonizing a planet or whatever, as you grow your stuff, as it gets bigger, your capability to manage things starts to diminish, and you need management tools to kind of grow with you. And things like Surviving Mars, you know, even when you had this sprawling base, you would have a drone that was just sat there going, you know, and it wouldn't complain. It wouldn't be like, I'm not doing anything. It would just sit there. And every drone would do it. It would just wait for a specific instruction from you before it would do anything, which is just absurd. Like, your management skill, when you got like 6 drones kicking around, you should be able to just say, just go and explore, just go and find stuff, go and do your thing. You can't get involved in micromanaging every vehicle, which is exactly what the game made you do. Because you've got too much to do at this point. Do you donate to game studios who you see potential in their products? I don't donate money to game studios, Cuzzy. In the same way that game studios don't donate money to me because they see my potential. Like, the best thing I do for them, I suppose, is advertise their products. I play their games, people watch it, go, I fancy that, they go and buy the game. I give them money indirectly. You think Factorio is very good at scaling the management abilities as the game progresses? The reason Factorio works, Tree, is because you can set up the bots to do things. Like the whole logistics thing. Yeah? The fact that you can put a backpack there and say, I always want to have at least, you know, 20 batteries, like, and the drones will just bring it to you. It makes it brilliant. Like, you can literally automate, which is the whole point of the game. And 0.17 comes out towards the end of the month, and that's going to be insane. You've bought 28 games since I started watching you, Bob. I like how you've counted that. Mr. Delbo, thank you for 19 months. Wanzimus, 3.5 years. Dude, thank you. 42 months, magic number. And we're going to play 0.17. I'm like, basically with 0.17, the redoing, the science is completely, like, redone. Like, the tech tree for science is redone. Fluids are completely changed, the way they handle. Trains are completely changed. Like, it's probably the biggest update they've ever done. Factorio's too confusing, King Awesome. Right then, so let's just think about this. We're going to have the nice bit over here, aren't we? So all along here is like the nice bit. And then this can be not so great bit. This has to have its own name. I don't know what we're going to call that, but it has to have its own name. Like, both of those I think are going to be uneducated. You're so excited for 1.0.17. Do you think Satisfactory will be out the same day? I don't know about Satisfactory. I just don't know. I do have some concerns about Satisfactory around, you know, performance and scaling compared to... Uh-oh, shouldn't have done that. You know, when you play Factorio and you've just got like 400 bots flying around and like the mechanization of Factorio, and the only way it can keep up is because they use bitmap graphics. Satisfactory takes the other approach. They're going to do it like in 3D. How is that going to scale? If you took something that you build in Factorio and tried to render it in 3D, you'd be talking like 1 frame per second. So I just don't know. And, you know, Factorio team are doing such a good job, like their dev team. Every Friday, you know, they blog out what they're doing. Like, they've done such a good job with that game. I don't know if Satisfactory are going to be able to keep up with that. Right, so this one here, we're going to have, let's see. We're going to do schools out policy, recreational use. They're not going to bother recycling.
Happy anniversary.
They can have free public transport. And taxation-wise, we'll give a tax relief for high and low density. And we're going to do the same thing with this lot. We're going to go recreational taxation relief. Whereas these guys are going to have education boost, parks and recreation. They're going to have to pay for public transport though. Let's see. Recycling. They can do that. We'll not bother with that. Okay. That'll give us two very distinct kinds of people. The devs about starters, and every week there's a new video with the YouTube channel talking about development, showing what developing on. I don't watch it, Chris. Playaway is bringing out... Baz, is that a typo? Bum Simulator. Did you mean to put bus? Or are they actually bringing out a bum simulator? It's not a typo. Wait, there's already toilet simulator. Why do we need a bum simulator? Calvert, hope you're having a great weekend. I was until I found out about bum simulator. Please stream it. So, okay, so why didn't you just call it like tramp simulator or hobo simulator? Why do you have to use the word bum? Do they not understand that has two meanings? You lose everything and ended up on the streets. What will you do? Adapt and survive. Take revenge on those responsible. Become an urban legend, get a job or start over. Countless possibilities. Yeah, but Baz, go and read the description for Thief Simulator and then tell me if the game lives up to that. That's just nuts. Right, I've got a bus depot down there. Let's get some schools in here. So we want plenty of these. We'll put one down near the tram depot. I'm sure people will appreciate that. Secondary school on the high streets. Oof. Oof. Can't do that. Let's set that next to one of them. This is the rough area. Bum doesn't get used for ass as much in the States. Playaway games, correct me if I'm wrong, playaway games are Eastern European? Are they like Czech Republic or something? Game developer? Not sure exactly why. Why do they keep adopting Americanisms? I don't get it. The devs of Satisfactory made Goat Simulator. Goat Simulator was a 3-day hackathon game. They knocked that up in 3 days. You can bottle people and other such activities. Oh my god. Eagle Fist, get out. How dare you say you love sprouts? There's actually a university down the road as well, isn't there? So we don't need to worry about the university so much. This is going to look horrendous on this slope here. Yep. And it does. Goat Simulator was a dumb physics game. Like I say, it was a 3-day joke. And then people just went, you know what, I'd buy that. So they sold it. What's wrong with sprouts? They're disgusting. They're absolutely disgusting. What is right with sprouts? That's the real question. Yummy sprouts, please. Please. Oh, game, come on. Why you do this? Yeah, that's true, Mr. Libido. They are the gift that keep on giving. You eat them and everybody else benefits for the next 2 days. Yeah, it is my opinion. You're right. If I had a box, right, and if I put things in this box, they would be eliminated from the planet. The first thing I would put in there would be wasps, and the second thing I put in there would be sprouts. Come on, game, keep up. Spiders? I don't have a problem with spiders. Now, I've never met a hornet, Newty, but I can fully imagine I would be even more terrified of a hornet than I am from a wasp. So I think I'd probably have to put those in there. Thankfully, I don't tend to see them very much. Well, yes, Jeff, wasps actually do useful things as it happens. They do eat and kill a lot of insects and things. Hornets, yeah, hornets sting real bad, Endo. You had a hornet in the house, I hit it with a paper and it just made it mad. Of course it did. I sent you a picture of it a moment next to a normal wall. Dude, I don't want to see it. I do not want to see that. Bob Monkhouse says £10 now, eat a sprout. No, I will not. Thank you for the £10, $10. People will get off the bus here. You're allergic to yellow jackets. My armor is 3 times larger than armor. Oof. Does Mrs. Squirrel like sprouts? She does. She loves them. I had a feeling that was going to happen. Unnecessarily high bridge. The airline Fly BMI has just cancelled a lot of flights and gone into administration. Fly BMI? I thought it was Flybe that was having problems. No, I haven't used Fly BMI. You don't mind bees or wasps? Bees? I'm a lot more comfortable around bees than wasps. Flybee was taken over, so they're all good. Fine. Who bought out Flybee in the end? I know they had a few people interested. Bob, $30 for you to eat a sprout. No, Bob. Dude, it's not going to happen. Save your money, Bob. Thank you for your money, but save your money, and it's not going to happen. You don't understand. It's like saying eat a wasp. It's just not going to happen. They're just terrifyingly disgusting. Are you going to the event in Berlin in April, Paul? Yep. TwitchCon. Yes. Assuming we can still get into the country. When was the last time you ate sprouts? I tried them when I was a child, but trust me, the smell is just as terrifying to me. Taste bud change. They do. I'll definitely grant you that one. I remember my dad used to drink whiskey, and I just could not understand how he could drink whiskey. I was like, oh my god, the smell. And then years later, oh look, I like whiskey. How bizarre. But, I like the smell of whiskey, that's the thing now. I smell it, and it gives me a positive reaction. I smell sprouts, and I just want to tip it in the bin. And Mrs. Squirrel has to convince me not to. British Regional on Flybe Mines cancel large flights in the field of administration there as announced. Oh dear. The trick with sprouts is to douse them in balsamic vinegar. What, to drown the horrible taste out? Now you want a glass of Jack. It's not called Jack, damn it. It's called Jack Daniels. You think Jameson's a lot? Nice. Some whiskies like are strong and, you know, not great, but some whiskies are absolutely fabulous. My uncle has like a drinks cabinet, and he always has like a bottle in there that's at least 15 years old. Something that he'll have on a special occasion.
Happy anniversary, Nutter.
Pretty good. Okay, getting there. Your dad does the same. He says he likes whiskey when... right. Okay, Dave likes his whiskey like women, like his women. Over 21 and single. Lol. Nuts Life, 29 months. Almost to 30. Thank you, Nuts Life. You hate whiskey, but you love mixing Jack Daniels, Amaretto, and Coke over ice. Bushmills is a nice whiskey. I don't think I've tried Bushmill. I want to go to Scotland some point and go around the distilleries. Am I going to play Elite Dangerous, DPH? I don't know, dude. I don't know whether to get into that again or not. Honestly, don't know. The reason I've avoided it is because I know it's a massive time sink. Right, we need to get... probably need a hospital for this thing.
Happy anniversary, Nutter.
What the heck? Put one on here, and then one over there. Schools. Right, refuse collections being dealt with by these guys. Don't know how well they'll cope with it. Parks and stuff. 3x4. Thank you for 3 years. Happy anniversary. Elite Dangerous involves docking at space stations, doesn't it? No, it involves just crashing straight into them like you do in Star Citizen. Interstellar economy is a bit of a headache. What I fancied doing was space trucking. Like, that's what I... You know, the idea of just getting a massive ship and then just hauling some stuff from one side of the galaxy to the other, making bank. Like, that's what I enjoy. Am I going to play it, Dre? I don't know. Why? Are you still playing it, Dre? Somebody died at the arch. Brilliant. That's great. Somebody actually died there. Is it like the only way to buy ships in ED still to get in-game currency? Or is it like Star Citizen where you can just buy them? Or is it like literally the only way to do it through a massive grind? Trams. So it's all grind. Eh. Thing is, what I used to enjoy about ED was I used to enjoy using voice attack with it, and voice attack and the what's that program that speaks back to I own a voice pack, is it? I think it is. You wouldn't say it's a massive grind. You can jump from a small ship to medium in a day tops. What, like a full day's playing? Yeah, I used to like put the landing gear down, it'll say stuff like, landing gear deployed, Captain. I just love that. I did like voice attack with that though. Landing lights, landing gear, you know. Shields forward. It was really cool being able to do that. So, Dre, what kind of playstyle do you go for? Should be some of his past streams of Project Hospital. Yeah. No, the vehicles can't get to the arch. It's a footpath. It's a footpath, you see? So they cross the roundabout, walk in there, die, and nobody can get them out. It's just tough. Trading mostly with a bit of bounty hunting. Yeah. I mean, I like the idea of bounty hunting like in a attack squad, you know what I mean? Like get a few of you and just go in and sort of wreck stuff. Let's get some park stuff down and we're ready to rock and roll. You played the original Elite way back in the 80s. It took a while to get the hang of rotating the ship and forward speed back then. Yep, 400 credits for your docking computer. That's like one of the first things that you used to save up for. Oh, you scumbag. It definitely ran best on BBC Model B, which is what it was developed for. You never used docking computers on ED, they're pointless. Well, if you got it wrong on ED, well, on Elite anyway, the original Elite, if you got it wrong, the price was real high. Looks like his lordship might be here. Come on, Paul. Come on. You come and say hi to everyone. It's the dollar. Mrs. Squirrel's just knocking all the lights. Come on, darling. Say hi. It was Nightmare, but it used to take a lot of time, like getting to the right side of the station, rotating. After a while, it was just easy to press the C button and have it dock. I'm gonna say hi. Hey. With a woolly jumper.
My favourite woolly jumper.
That looks warm. Flippin' heck, are you cold? Mrs. Squirrel, the hand model. Don't. She'll be getting delusions of grandeur. It's cold outside. Chris, we're in England, mate. You're in Norway. Your definition of cold is different to ours.
Happy anniversary.
Midnight Poison, 13 months. Just love your streams. Have helped me out in many tough times and always make me relax. Keep up the good work. Thank you, dude. Mrs. Squirrel, you trickster lady. You don't need to manipulate us with your dog. Your gameplay isn't that bad. No. Dog stream for 10 hours. What's the temperature? I don't know.
Well, we've got weird heating in our house. One day it'll be really hot, the other day it'll be really cold.
Bob Monkhouse. I'm not going to tell her that.
No, what? What did you say?
Well, we were talking about sprouts earlier, and I was saying how they're just the bane of evil. But you like them. So he sent me $10 to eat a sprout, and I said no. So he sent me $30 to eat a sprout, and I said no. Just no.
Do you want me to slip a sprout sprouting his dinner and he won't know. Secretly film it.
Bad things would happen.
I did put sprouts in this pack.
Have you told Mrs. Squirrel that we're getting her to work with sign language or Makaton? No, we're not. The idea was you do sign language and then sit at the back of the stream there, so as I'm talking, you just sign the whole thing. For 10 hours, how do you fancy that? Apparently, if you dip cover sprouts in balsamic vinegar, that makes them better. Now, you like balsamic vinegar, as do I. But I'll just have bread and olive oil with mine.
What it reminded me of? Remember the balsamic broccoli we had?
Yeah, I remember that. Balsamic broccoli. Oh, yeah, we had balsamic broccoli, which is kind of similar again. Right, doing it. Arm's getting tired, which means you've had too many. See you tomorrow, pal. Got it. See you tomorrow. And you go.